Yeah, it must be nice having an elite X wide receiver to actually catch the ball when he's targeted. That could bring us to the Steelers and Mr. George Pickens with perhaps the worst game I have ever seen from a wide receiver. Legitimately, maybe one of the worst games I've ever seen from a wide receiver last week. Uh, but yeah, it's the Steelers going against the Ravens. The only thing better than an AFC North divisional game is an AFC North playoff divisional game.
We get to see it on Hard Knocks too.
And we get to see it on Hard Knocks. Yes. It's going to be must watch. Absolutely. So right off the bat, Christian, what are your thoughts on this game?
It's a 10-point spread, 43.5 over under. 10-point spread to the Ravens.
I was really surprised at how high it was, honestly, but maybe that's just a sign of just how bad things are going for Pittsburgh. I was concerned later on in the season about Pittsburgh's secondary being healthy. It seemed like Dante Jackson, Joey Porter, Deshaun Elliott, they all got hurt at the same time. But based on the injury report, it looks like they're all good. They're going to be good to go. I think that's a lot of points. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh with the points. But yeah, I think Baltimore takes care of business. I think Derrick Henry's really unstoppable. But I think the big thing to concern over with your Baltimore is Zay Flowers, because he didn't practice today on Tuesday. It looked like a pretty serious knee sprain or knee issue that flared up. So we will see of his status in this game. But I think with the run game that they have, the way Lamar is playing, I don't think anybody can really stop him right now but himself. And I don't think the season ends for Baltimore this week. But I think that's a lot of points. I'm going to take Pittsburgh to cover there.
I got a question here for you guys. Is there? I mean, obviously, there's nothing that's going to happen next season. Going into next season, I don't think. Even maybe. Well, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think is the? I would have legitimate concerns about if this is enough. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers to squeak in the playoffs like you did on a skid at the end of the season in keeping Mike Tomlin. I think there's legitimate questions there. And I think this is the first. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. But I think raising the question, there's got to be frustration on that side of the ball when you're Pittsburgh of just, is this what we're fine with? I mean, I like the Ravens here. I don't think Pittsburgh has a chance. I think the 10 is, it could have been 12 and a half maybe. I think the Ravens are going to boat race them. I don't think they're stopping the MVP of the league.
Mike, I just have a question for you, and I feel this way when two divisional opponents play each other for the third time this year. Are you concerned in any, especially because they recently played too? Are you concerned about any fact of the familiarity between the two teams, and just going out and saying that a team is going to get boat raced? Is it
not at all?
Because I think the only way that happens is if Pittsburgh is quit. And the thing is, like, this is the playoffs. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to quit. And when you've got a total as low as 43.5 and a spread that high plus 10, I mean, points are at such a premium. It's hard to lay 10. Like, you must be thinking that the Pittsburgh's going to win this game 31-6, which maybe you do.
That's
I don't
not
know,
at all
but,
what I think.
No, Baltimore.
I don't. Yeah, Baltimore.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I meant Baltimore. I meant Baltimore. Sorry. Yeah. I meant Baltimore. You must be thinking Baltimore's going to win this game 31-6.
You are looking at it. You're looking at a Pittsburgh Steelers team that didn't score more than 17 points for the last 4 games of the regular season.
See, the thing is, Mike, they could score 17 points this week, and the Ravens can score
17, and then they cover. It's not. It's I have.
This game could be 27-17, and the game go. Yeah.
The defense is still legit, but you're not against Lamar Jackson. not against Lamar Jackson. I think
Mike,
there's going to
I
be.
just think it's
I
hard.
think
It's hard to get there, just because it's the third time they're going to see Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's not like he's something new to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've been seeing this guy for 4 or 5 years, and the third time this season. I mean, they're going to come out with something different to stop Lamar, especially
I
if he's got no Zay
I,
Flowers either.
I think here's what it comes down to. I think when you go, who is going to play more disciplined football? Who is going to play better on the who has the playmakers to play more disciplined football on the offensive side of the ball? That's Baltimore. You're going up against a struggling Russell Wilson. They're going to have a package for Justin Fields in there in a playoff game. I don't see if they're going to be able to shut down Russell Wilson. We saw he threw he had a curl route that got read like a book and taken back for a pick six. The guy is done. If he loses this playoff game, he's done. Mike Tomlin,
Well,
I mean, don't give me a second, Christian. There, did you see the Browns against them?
No, I didn't. Sorry,
There
I'm
is
muted.
there. Jameis Winston played his ass off. There is legitimate concerns on the defensive side of the ball. You have TJ Watt. There are problems in the secondary. There are problems on the linebacker core that they have. They're going to be able to stretch the ball down the field. Tell me how they're going to stop Derrick Henry or any kind of play action pass when Lamar Jackson gets outside the pocket. It's going to be a boat race. 10, give me 13 and a half. They will not cover it. They're going to get crushed by them. And I
You might
think
as well start looking at alternate spreads. And if you think that, you might as well hit like a 21 and a half alternate
I
spread.
think
If you're talking like this,
if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you got to be sick of this jig by now. It's been how many years since they won? Since they beat an aging Kurt Warner with Big Ben being able to hit Santonio Holmes in the corner of the end zone on a last second play, and that was over a decade ago. They're done.
He's been
Russell
in the same
Wilson
conference as Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
you forgot
time.
about the killer bees,
Consistently
bro.
in the playoffs.
Le'Veon, Antonio.
If AB didn't lose his mind, what are you talking about? Le'Veon Bell.
I
But
think this is slanderous.
If he didn't lose his mind, Christian, he was supposed to do a concert in Tallahassee that I bought tickets to. Let's not go back to AB.
The AB concert counter for the Bulletin Board
Here's-
Sports Podcast is at 3 for this season.
Here's my
You
here's
might
my
as well
legit.
start blaming yourself for that. By the way, you shouldn't have been trusting AB.
Here is my legitimate question. If Jalen Warren and Najee Harris's production is shut down by a very good a linebacker core and at least a couple interior linemen from the Baltimore Ravens, are a couple Russell Wilson moonballs to George Pickens going to win them the game? No, it's not.
You're right.
Give me the
You're
Ravens.
right, Mike. No one's. I think we all agree they're not going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be everyone's best shot, at least on the offense side of the football for Pittsburgh. I think Russ is going to get a lot of deep shots early on. See what's going on with George. If he makes a couple plays early on, they're in the game.
It's going to be a high variance game script for Pittsburgh. I completely agree with that.
And then you're talking about guys like Najee and Jalen Warren, who are both. If this might be the last game they play with the Steelers, so I can't see them not going all out, given that they're all balling out. I think early on you're going to see a lot of different things. You're going to see Justin Fields in the game if Russ can't drive the ball down the field. And because of that, I think you're going to get at least a punch in the mouth from Pittsburgh, and that's why I think 10 is a lot. That's
100%. 100%. I completely get you, Christian. I mean, I like when we're looking at what the point spreads are right now. I love the Steelers +6 first half. I think they will keep it close. But I think this is a Baltimore Ravens team that is a continual punch in the mouth team, and that's how they have been the entire year. They wear you down, and it just takes one Derrick Henry run that is 20, 25 yards, another 20, 25 yards after they just ground and pound the entire game. It's and you don't, and that's not even factoring in Lamar Jackson. I kind of like Pittsburgh +6 first half. They're done after that. It's
I
not.
mean, that's a fair point. If you're going to get at Pittsburgh, it's probably best to get at them early because Baltimore has shown
Yes.
they can blow games open and later in the second half. So I
They're
don't hate with that
a
method of
wear
getting at
team.
Pittsburgh.
They're a wear teams down kind of team. I think this is a second half where there is going to be legitimate questions about where this team is going under Mike Tomlin. I think he's safe for another year, but I think you have to raise the question. And I don't think I'm crazy for raising the question.
Give the man a quarterback not named Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson, or Justin Fields, please. Since
The problem is,
or
I don't know
Mitchell
if that's
Trubisky
getting.
or Mason Rudolph.
I don't know if that's getting
I
fixed anytime
draft
soon.
Carson Beck if I'm Pittsburgh. I draft Carson Beck. I don't care.
Oh no!
Why not?
No,
I don't know who else.
I
Who
do
else
not
would you
like
even?
what I see from Carson
I
Beck.
think
Who
they go.
else would you even consider drafting?
Quinn Ewers. Give him Quinn Ewers.
I think Quinn Ewers is
would
going.
love
I think
to
he's
see.
going back to school. I think he's transfer portal. That's
I mean,
a different type of the pod though. We can maybe hop on for 30 minutes and talk college ball.
My question for you guys is this: do you think we're going to see legitimate packages in this game for Justin Fields in at least mid-game crunch time? Get a first down. We got to get it past the 40. Something like that. I think that's the only way they're going to be able to, legitimately move the ball. I mean, granted, I'll give Russell Wilson some flowers. I think his mobility this year has been better than we saw for the 2 years in Denver by far. I think he has gotten that part of his game back. That could be a factor in this, but that's not going to win the game. Come on.
He did make a very boneheaded play at the end of the last game. Russell Wilson did, where he just decided to scramble instead of throwing the ball away, and basically cost Pittsburgh 15. Yeah, basically
getting
cost
out of bounds.
Pittsburgh 15 seconds.
I think he has
some play
series.
from a veteran quarterback there.
I think he has 2 series this week, and if he's not putting the ball down the field, then go to Justin.
And they go with Justin?
You got nothing.
I 100% think so. I have one question for you guys before we get off this game. There's a line that is bugging me. I don't know where to land on it. The Steelers are plus. Their over under is 7.5 in the first half. I think they get shut down. I don't think we see. I don't think we see 10 points out of them.
Hang on, Mike. Let's not contradict ourselves here. So you think Pittsburgh's going to cover the 6 for the first half, but they're going to get shut down offensively. So you're looking at what, a 6-0 game at halftime?
Okay, maybe
for those two things to go together. I'm like, something's got to line up here, because I'm with Christian. I think that if you're going to get at Pittsburgh, it's probably best to get at them early, because that's when they're going to come with all the game script stuff. Everything's scripted. They're going to try maybe some freaky stuff with Justin Fields, or, moon balls to Pickens. Like, you're going to get Pittsburgh's best punch probably early. So if anything, I mean, you got to expect, if you think they're going to cover
you're right.
You got to think that they're going to, they're going to score something in the first half.
I'm sorry for lashing out there.
It's okay. I know that fired me up. I mean, we got a nice battle there. Hey, at the end of the day, we kind of came to a consensus. Pittsburgh's going to come out with their best stuff, and then Baltimore will do what Baltimore does in the second half, and that's pull away. And that seems to be the overarching theme.
I'm going to sprinkle. I'm going to sprinkle on the +7. I'm going to sprinkle on the +7.5. I hate it, but maybe they get 10. And I think you know who the MVP of this team, this Pittsburgh Steelers team, is that got them to the playoffs? It's Chris Boswell. Is no one on the offensive side of the ball. I think we can all agree on that.
Najee Harris roll tide with his 4th straight 1,000-yard season. It's never been done.
At 4,000-yard seasons, Frank Gore. He had a lot of them.
4 in a row.
Bill,
Yeah.
4 in a row.
Bill's legend.
Everything. He was actually really good on the 49ers, but we don't need to go on a Frank Gore tangent.
Nobody needs to, yeah. And we don't need to talk on the Najee Harris stat about how since we've gone to 17 games, it's maybe made it like all you need is like 60 yards a game to get to 1,000 yards.